So, welcome to our channel, How We Move the Decimal. And in today's video, I am doing another round of 35 millimeter slides that I got from an estate sale. And this is the same estate sale that I got the last video I did from. Again, we got so many, like thousands of slides from this estate sale. They are very well labeled. You can see on some of them when I flip them over, the side without the Kodachrome writing on it, I'm going to assume wife, mom, the lady wrote on these because this is very feminine handwriting. It could have been the guy, but very feminine handwriting, saying where they're all from. This batch I'm doing here is 1958. And it's vacations, it's holidays, it's the Grand Canyon, it's Red Rock, it's Zion National Park. I think it's Halloween, it's Christmas, it's Easter, it's a couple other places, a lot of the Southwest area, lots and lots of the Grand Canyon. These are really interesting to me because, and much like I said in the last video, there were access to things we don't have access anymore in 1958. Like in the last video, they're touching Stonehenge, like actually touching Stonehenge. In this video, in these slides, they're going into tribal grounds, Hopi mounds, and they're actually inside them and walking around. And these are things that we don't have access to that because we as people can't keep things nice. Um, I for those of you that haven't seen my last video, I just use a tracing board that I put a white piece of paper on to diffuse the light. In this video, you'll see lights on, lights off a lot when the room. Sometimes I take it with light on, sometimes I take it with light off. My overhead light does have a glare on the slides, but I don't get as good coloring when I turn the light off, so it's a trade-off, 6-to-1. I think this entire lot is around 200, 240 slides, and I'm pulling out here. You can see me pull out some slides that I'm not using. I look at every single slide I sell. I know some people just sell like blind lots. They don't know what's in it. I've come across way too much mold in these lots not to go through them all. Plus, I'm super nosy and I want to see what's in all of them. And as a special treat at the end of this video, some of the slides that I particularly like and some of my favorites, I like to run through a scanner. And I'll show you the pictures of what it looks like for the slides that I do put through a special slide scanner. And they come out really, really well. I don't do anything with the slides I scan, like I don't sell the scans or anything. I just want to keep them for myself because I think they're super cool. And I'm kind of sentimental that way. But I am pulling out whoever was behind the camera, loved to take pictures of random tree, random rose. Roses were a big thing. I have lots and lots of roses that someone took pictures of, and I don't want to include those in a slide lot. So I tend to pull those out and I'll do a massive scenery lot later on that's all flowers and trees and cacti and stuff like that. I do keep national monuments and stuff in there though. Waterfalls at Yosemite, stuff like that does stay in the main lot. But if it's something that I can't tell where it's from and another person couldn't tell where it's from, then I will pull those out just to save room. I'm doing a whole lot of 1958 here. I'm no longer trying to sort them all out by places. Maybe it's somewhere particular, like I did do East and West Berlin separate, and Washington, D.C., 1965, and Philadelphia, 1960, those were all separate. But as a whole, if I can do a year lot, that'd be great. Just because I have so many, I know I'll never be able to go through all of them if I keep sorting them out by, specific events. Again, these are labeled so well. They may just say like Grand Canyon. They like to go to Arizona a lot too, I've noticed when looking at this stuff. I'm starting to feel like I knew these people, just by looking at all their old slides, and I can't believe that they were just left behind. And, these weren't cheap. This was not something cheap. I think in 1958, the price tag to develop this was $1.99. So that was not cheap to get these developed. And they really put money into this. They really took time to take these photographs. There's some really cool photographs on this lot of bathing suits and stuff at a hotel pool. Again, as a super awesome surprise at the end of this, I'll show you the ones I went through the slide scanner. And if anybody wants to know what slide scanner and stuff I use, I can look that up. I think I just got it off Amazon. It wasn't anything super special, but when we started getting these large slide lots, we started getting our relative slides first. And we decided to get a slide scanner for not just for listing on eBay, but to also have so we can scan our own personal family slides. And, you know, boxes of slides came through that. My husband's grandmother had a bunch of slides that she had inherited from somebody else. So she gave us all those slides. We got all the slides from the estate sales. We got my husband's uncle's slides. We went to an estate sale at a school, and we got all of the slides from that school. So we do have a lot of slides, and it's fun to go and look through all of them. Some things I will pull and I won't sell just because I felt kind of cheap selling them. But most of them I do sell, especially the vacation ones. Again, there's shots that we will never get to see because we can't go there. We can't go and, take stalactites and stalagmites and all this stuff. We just don't have access to that. And there's things that are gone now, like the national monuments that we can't see. I will be going camping with my son at the end of in the summer, and we'll be going part in our state that has the Trail of Tears walk through it. And so I'm looking forward to telling him and showing him all of the carvings on the rocks and stuff. But people have damaged them so much and added their own carvings and their initials and stuff that you can't really get close to them. They're all roped off because so many people have damaged them. And that's just a shame when it comes to history like that. And I'm not even a history buff. My child is. He loves history, he loves geography and all of that. And quite frankly, that was my worst subject. In school, I just didn't do history well. I still don't do history well, which is funny that I'm like sentimentally attached to someone else's slides. But I'm of the age where it was pre-digital, and we had to use cameras and we had to use negatives and film. We had to wait to get the film developed, and you only took pictures of certain things because you didn't want to waste an entire camera film on animals at the zoo or something. And these just seem so precious to me where now everything's digital. I think I have like tens of thousands of pictures of my children because it's digital, but I don't have pictures of my great grandparents. And the pictures that have survived have been piecemealed between family. So I think maybe that's why I get sentimental about this, because this is probably the only copy of these ever. And some family members may have never even seen these pictures, and I'm posting them online and going through that and selling them as a lot. But I find it so interesting, but I'm not a history person. Whereas, again, my son, who loves history, has no interest in these. And ironically, I have no interest in genealogy. My mom loves genealogy. We've done all those like family history things and, do your DNA and see, find some relatives you didn't know you're related to or anything like that. But I never got into that either. I'm like, that, sure, I'm related to that person. I'm related to this person. But I don't know. I'm just not seeking those people. But I do really appreciate the pictures, and I do really get into them, especially like those cool old cars. There's a picture here at the bottom, well, closest to the camera, and it's a guy, probably mid-40s, sitting in a car, like a mini, like not a minivan, they didn't have minivans, like a station wagon, backwards, and he's just smoking a cigar with his feet up on a cooler. And that is so quintessential Americana when we're looking at that. And it's like seeing these people, what did it look like in the 1950s? What were they wearing? What glasses did they have? What cars were they driving? What did they do for fun? One of the tents looks so much like a bed sheet over a line, thrown over a line in the woods, where now our tents are all high tech and they're zip and all this stuff. So it's just so interesting watching all of these. I don't know if I'm going to voice over all of my slide videos because I have a whole bunch of them. I might voice over a little bit and then add music a little bit. I am adding some music at the end of this. I'm just experimenting with it, but I do like sharing these slide videos. And I spend hours doing this. This video I did double time, but it's roughly about an hour, about 45 minutes just doing this one lot, taking pictures of it. Again, it's very large, and you can tell I'm going to say she wrote on all of the slides. This is where I just turned the light off in the room, and I'm not getting as good of color quality as I do with the light on, so I go back and forth between light on, light off. It's a payoff. I either get the glare from my overhead light, or I don't get great color saturation with the light off. I'm not using anything special here. Again, just a tracing board, some print paper, so paper that goes in your printer. I have tried tissue paper to diffuse, and that's worked really well too, but the tissue paper wasn't heavy enough, so I kept sliding off of the tracing board, and it was just more of a time suck and a hassle to do that, to continually put it back up, put it back up, put it back up. These ones I'm laying down, they're panning for gold. They're dressed up as cowboys and Indians. They're riding mules. And I do believe it's all at the Grand Canyon. And they're riding mules with guns and stuff. Stuff that we just don't get to do like they used to in the olden days. But when I go through all these and I talk to my father-in-law about it and my mom about it too, and I was like, wow, did you do this? What did you do? Like the Halloween costumes are a trip, and you'll get to see those at the end with the scan. But they are an absolute trip looking at the Halloween costumes. And what it was considered a Halloween costume. Like, I'm pretty sure this little girl is wearing a legit straight up fur coat that probably cost a bunch of money as a Halloween costume. Because this was pre-fake fur, so this was, again, 1958. Looks like a mink, but I don't know. I wouldn't send my 4-year-old out with my mink stole for a Halloween costume, but it is quite interesting. And the suit the little boy has on for Christmas is just amazing. Like, it's such, I don't want to say, I mean, I use the word Americana, and we do use the word Americana a lot, but it's so time capsule-y. It's looking at all of that. This is me counting how many are there because I don't want to get too much. Lots of swimming and stuff here. I'm trying to get through all of 1958 that I have in this box. I have a whole bunch of boxes of these slides, and I think I go through you can see in the corner, the green box is full of slides. So I pulled out all the 1958 slides from there, and I'll pull out all the 57s, all the 60s, and go from there. And I will probably find more slides later on of the same years for other things. But I think I'm going to have to just go by year, or this is going to take me forever to get these slides photographed and listed. And I would really like to have my basement back. So we have a finished climate controlled basement, and where I store my other eBay stuff, I can't store slides or computer games or anything because it's not climate controlled. So these are actually stored in our living area, and that is weighing on me. I'd like to get them out of the living area. I'd like to have my space back. But the only way I can do that is if I list and sell. So in the famous words of some eBayer somewhere, if it's not listed, you can't sell it. So I need to list these and I need to sell it. My goal this year is just to get through all of my desk piles, including all of these slides, and be done with it. It's such an albatross around the neck. I need to get rid of that. On the upside, with my kids being in school and my work being from home now, I can carve a little more time to do eBay stuff while my kids are in school. And then I might have to, after they're home, finish up my work. But it doesn't, by the time we have supper, I'm done. So it's not horrible, but I have figured out that I cannot do certain stuff while my children are at home, like recording and narrating these videos. I can't narrate a video while my children are at home. I have narrated videos while sitting in pickup line, because pickup line is the bane of my existence and I'm in there for 100 years. So I don't know. I think I might just start adding more music to it, because talking for 22, 23, 24 minutes is really kind of difficult, especially since my main job involves talking. So by the time I get to this, I'm kind of talked out. I don't know what to talk about while I'm going through these. I guess I could teach you guys something, since that is my profession by trade. I could talk about different psychology and criminal justice theories if you need me to, because again, that's my profession by trade. But I really just very interested in going through all these slides, looking at all of them, sharing them with you guys, because I don't know, it may seem exploitative to post it up on YouTube for people to look at it, since they aren't my family. But then I also feel like by watching this, you guys are helping like these people to continue to have, be in people's memories. It's not just me looking at it, it's whoever else is watching the videos are now looking at it. Um, the and I do like I didn't scan all of these slides. I scanned the ones I liked the most, but I still scanned over 200 slides, and it took me, I want to say, probably 30 minutes to run them all through the scanner. So it didn't take a lot of time to run all those slides, but it was still 30 minutes. But I do like having the actual photos, and that way if someone actually says, can I get a closer look at this photo from this lot before they buy it, then I have those photos there readily available. And I do also put them on, I back them up on my Google Drive, so they're there and easily accessible and not taking up a lot of room on my computer. But with this, it was just so many slides to go through. And this was it wasn't even half of the box was 1958. So, in that day, I did all of 1958, all of 1960 from that box, and then I also did a box of random scenery to get it out of the way. And all in all, I want to say I took around 700 slide pictures, maybe a little more, and that took me about 4 hours total. So it is a time commitment, and I don't want to spend time away from my children doing this, but it's also fun for me. It's not completely totally work, because I'm nosy, and I would go through and look at all of them anyway before I got rid of them. I would look at all of them before I donated them or I sold them or whatever. So by looking at all of them now, the only time I would really save is taking the pictures and listing it. But I might still scan it, honestly, just to, have them there. Um, Counting out more, seeing how many more I need. Um, I've just finished, so I'm writing out 1958, 206 slides, Grand Canyon, like all the details of what it is, and then I'm going to write a slide number for it. You can, since I turned the light off, you have a little better view of the writing here. They even wrote them in order, like they numbered them and everything. They don't put any names on them though, so I don't know their names, which is kind of like crazy to think about. It's like I'm looking at your Christmases, your holidays, your vacations, and I have no idea who you are. I don't know your names. And where it's slightly different when I'm looking at my own family slides, I'll take a picture like this for my main picture, and then I will take a picture with the paper on it for my other picture.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going life. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same.